Now, we are diving deep, as we are going to study the histological layers of trachea. The tracheal wall comprises of 4 layers. Let us read them together. The first one and the innermost layer is mucosa. The second one is submucosa. The third one is musculo-cartilaginous layer. The last one is Adventitia. Did you learn their names first time? Looking confused? Okay. Here we have a solution. We can memorize them by using a mnemonic, make simple meals attractive. Here we have a microscopic view of these layers of trachea. So, the innermost layer of the windpipe, which is mucosa. The mucosa consists of epithelium, named as ciliated pseudostratified epithelium, which are closely packed cells of epithelium that are attached to the basement membrane. This epithelium, as its name indicates, comprises of cilia also, and cilia plays the role of cleaner in trachea. Sounds weird, right? But yes. And the reason behind it is that cilia have a function of sweeping foreign particles and fluids out of the air so that they stay out of the lungs. So the ciliated pseudostratified epithelium helps in collecting the foreign materials so you can cough or sneeze out them from the body. The next structure we have is lamina propria, contains elastin fibers and lymphoid tissues, and its function is that it elastically recoils trachea during inspiration and expiration, thus providing flexibility. Here we have an image showing the layers of tracheal wall, and on the upper side, the mucosa is located and ciliated epithelium is shown. On the other side, we have the lamina propria as shown. To memorize these two structures, we can use mnemonic words casual leave, as C stands for ciliated epithelium and L stands for lamina propria. We have some other important features of the innermost mucosal layer. The mucosa consists of cup-like cells called as goblet cells. The goblet cells secrete mucus or mucin to create a protective layer around the tracheal wall. The goblet cells hold the mucus in its cup-like structure. When the mucus is secreted from the cells, it then instantaneously spreads and expands just as the soup falls from the cup. The goblet cells also catches the debris, along with the help of cilia, so that clear air reaches into the lungs. Here we have a microscopic view of mucosal layer, in which you can see the small cup-shaped goblet cells. Moving on to the second layer, where we have submucosa, which is located below mucosa. The submucosa layer comprises of 2 mixed glands, which are seromucous glands, also known as serous gland and mucus gland. We will study their functions separately so that it does not form a blend in our minds too. The function of serous gland is that it provides the watery secretions, because of which they humidify or moisten the air. The next one is mucus gland, so as its name indicates, it provides mucus and this mucus, and the mucus, which is derived from goblet cells, together combines and trap the foreign particles from the air. In this view, here we have the submucosal layer below mucosa, and right here we have our mixed glands. To memorize these glands' name, we can use mnemonic MS, or Master of Surgery. So, submucosa has other characteristics features. It contains fibers which provide flexibility to trachea when the air moves in and out. These structures are called collagen fibers and elastin fibers. Both of these fiber aids in expansion, contraction, and stabilization of trachea. It also contains connective tissues, which are essential to provide nutrient to these structures, and the connective tissues includes the arteries, veins, and nerves. So, we are done with the submucosal layer. Stay connected till the end of video to know more. Moving ahead, we have our two-named layer, which is Musculo-cartilaginous layer, which comprises of both muscles and cartilage structure. Okay. This layer consists of smooth muscles, which are airway smooth muscles, and as we know, the smooth muscles are involuntary, so these smooth muscles perform their function unconsciously. These smooth muscles are involved in the regulation of bronchomotor tone, which is related to a change in contraction or dilation of bronchi or trachea. The cartilage layer provides flexibility to the trachea and prevents it from collapsing. To memorize these two layers of musculo-cartilaginous layer, we can use mnemonic SC or Snapchat. So this model shows the third layer of tracheal wall. Moving ahead, we have the cartilage layer. The cartilage is covered by a dense fibrous membrane, called as perichondria. This cartilage layer comprises of elastic cartilaginous rings composed of hyaline cartilage, and these are 16 to 20 rings in number. They help in the movement and support of trachea when air moves in and out. In this histological view of tracheal layer, we can see the third layer comprising of hyaline cartilage rings. Making our way towards the end, we are going to study the last or the outermost layer of trachea, called as the Adventitia. The Adventitia literally means the external layer. So you can relate the word Adventitia and external coat, but the tracheal Adventitia further consists of two layers. One is the outer loose layer, and the inner layer is the dense layer. The function of Adventitia is that it helps in movement of trachea along its entire length. This layer, just like musculo-cartilaginous layers, also contain elastic tissues. Just think once, what if our body does not have any elastic tissues or fibers? The organs would have collapsed. So, elastic tissues and fibers are a blessing, and they are so significant in performing significant role in body functioning. Now, as you see, we have a model, and the outermost layer Adventitia is present here when viewed microscopically. So, Adventitia, or the outermost layer, not only does have elastic property, but it has one other major function. It has a binding property, just like a tape. Yes, it binds the trachea with the muscular to esophagus and other organs which are present near the trachea. A photomicrograph of the layers of tracheal wall shows a realistic depiction of the layer Adventitia present in the tracheal wall. So that was all for the brief histology of trachea. Stay tuned to sqadia.com for more.